Hello everyone, Clark the Geek here, welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're doing another one of those ranking videos, a similar one that I did over the summer, you know, like the logo ranking, TARDIS ranking, title sequence ranking, the companion ranking. Yeah, I like doing these little rankings of like just random Doctor Who sort of topics, and I'm doing another one today. I'm doing Cybermen designs. Now the Cybermen are my favourite Doctor Who monster. I just find them so creepy of how they're literally us, and I can imagine them happening, the Cybermen, and you know, with the whole goal of upgrading and trying to improve. They're the monster that has probably been redesigned the most, and some of them have been great, some of them have been not so great, and we're going to rank them all today. Quick note before we get started, it will be the main Cybermen designs, so no like cyber leaders, controllers, cyber shades from the next Doctor, no special, it was just going to be the standard ones, so let's get into it. Coming at last place, controversial I know, but I've got the Cybermen, first appearing in Rise of the Cybermen in 2006. Now I know this is a really controversial one, I know a lot of people love these designs, and I know a lot of people have quite a bit of a nostalgia for these designs, and that's perfectly fine. But for me, they're just, I mean, I wasn't a fan during the Tennant era, so I don't have really that nostalgia, but they're just robots, they're just robots. To give them credit, in the Series 2 two-parter, Rise of Cybermen Age of Steel, they were portrayed really well with the script. The design, they're just robots, you know, they're dead clunky, dead slow. It's such a jump from the previous design in the classic series, I know, but it's just, they're just robots, and there's not that much I like about them. At number 9, we have the Wheeling Space Cybermen. Now, this may be because the story's missing, and it's not been animated yet. It's the only Cyberman story I've not watched in its entirety. But from what I've seen from the surviving episodes and surviving clips, they're just not that great, I don't think. It is a mashup, basically, of the Tomb of the Cybermen, and the Invasion Cybermen, but I just don't think they work together. Like, it's just, I don't think they work together. And another thing as well, on the mouth, you can see a little teardrop. Obviously, they've got the teardrop eyes, but they've got a little thing on the mouth. It looks really weird, and I don't get it. Yeah, really just forgettable design for me. At number 8, we've got the Nightmare in Silver Cybermen. What are they called? I think they're called like the post-Cyber War Cybermen. First introduced in Nightmare in Silver. Again, like the Cyber Swans, they're just robots. These lot just look like Iron Man. You know, with the arc reactor kind of light, the face plate coming off, the shape. It just looks like Iron Man. And then there's some really stupid things that you can do. Like, why can you take your hand off? Why can you take your head off? They're now flying as well. Like, it's just, and they've got like super speed like the Flash, like it's a bit too much. One thing I will give these Cybermen is that they're a lot quieter and they're a lot faster than the Cyber Swans, you know, they're a bit more stealthy, and that's something I can respect, you know, trying to improve on the previous design, that's something I like about them. At number 7 we've got the 7th Doctor Cybermen, the Silver Nemesis ones. Now these Cybermen are just the Earthshock Attack of the Cybermen ones from the other 80s stories, but chromed up to make them look so obnoxiously shiny, and it's honestly ridiculous. It just ruins a really good design. And the way that they've got like this ridiculously shiny chest plate and helmet with the sort of the quite dark grey bodysuit, it just doesn't look that good. But as it's a great design initially, I still kind of like the design. It's just the way it's done here doesn't really work. At number 6, we've got the most recent Cybermen, the Cyber Warriors from essentially the Cybermen and the Timeless Children, the latest Cybermen from Series 12. Now it is quite similar to the Nightmare in Silver designs, and you know, I don't really like that, but it's tweaked a bit, so I do quite like it. But the main reason I love this design is the headpiece. It's very reminiscent of the classic Earthshock 80s Cyberman helmet, and you'll see how high on the list they are, and I love it. And I remember watching that Series 12 trailer that came out around like February, and these Cybermen appearing for the first time, and I loved it. I think I might have covered it in a video, but yeah, I really like these designs. My favourite of the new series. At number 5, we've got the Revenge Cybermen from Revenge of the Cybermen, the only Cybermen of the 70s era. Now, what I like about these Cybermen is how they take the Invasion design, which I'll cover in a minute, but spruce them up a bit to make them look a bit more larger and imposing. I quite like that angle. I also quite like the little gun on their heads. I think that's quite a unique direction. And I just think they look quite imposing, and it looks quite good. On the downside, this is some of the weakest Cyberman voice acting that I've ever heard. It's just so flat and dull, and yeah. Overall, it is a really nice design. I just think what lets them down is how the story portrays them. It's a bit naff. At number 4, we have the Invasion Cybermen. These are such a great design. I mean, these Cybermen are such an iconic design. Like before the new series, these are like the definitive Cybermen designs. These are ones you see on the covers of Big Finish stories. You see them on the Target books, even if they're not from that story. These are the ones you tend to see on the Target books. They're just such an iconic design, and I can totally see why. The helmet design is iconic. Just the look is great, even if it is just a diving suit. It's so iconic, and the Invasion's a brilliant story. So yeah, it's just a fantastic design. At number 3, we've got the Tomb Cybermen, first seen in the Moon Base and then Tomb of the Cybermen. The first redesign for the Cybermen this was. These designs are just fantastic, you know, the blank faces, the letterbox mouth, really creepy. It's a lot slimmer and it's nice and refined, but, you know, I still love it. The voices are really creepy, and just the way they are in the stories that they're in, you know, they're very cold, calculating, very stealth and very creepy and sinister, and they're just brilliant in design and presentation. Coming in second is the original Mondasian Cybermen from the 10th Planet, and who also made a reappearance in World Enough from Time and The Doctor Falls. These are by far the scariest Cybermen. You know, you've got the cloth faces, and you can see like the lips moving slightly. It's so creepy. And I've actually in some shots in the 10th Planet at least, you can actually see a little human eye in the eyes, and it just emphasises that this is a human underneath all this stuff, you know. You've got the human hands, which are terrifying. It emphasises that it is a human underneath. They have to look around this bloody boiler on their chest just to keep on living. And they really beg the question of, is it worth it? Which, of course, it's not worth it. As well as that, their voices are really creepy. You know, their singy-songy voices. They go from, like, a high pitch to a low pitch to a high pitch. It's really creepy. Now, in my opinion, The 10th Planet isn't the greatest story of all time. I find it just a pretty bog standard, like, you know, 7 out of 10 I'd give it. But the Cybermen are great in it. And I think World Enough and Time really builds on what the 10th Planet Cybermen originally were, and it builds on like the conversion angle of it, and you know, the humanity and all that stuff, and it really captures the best what the Cybermen are about. Like, the naffer they are, the creepier, because they are literally the box remains of humans, and they are just so creepy, just, yeah, absolutely brilliant. And at the top spot is the 80s Cybermen from Earthshock and Attack of the Cybermen, and the 5 Doctors as well. Now, I absolutely adore these designs. This design is really cool. You know, the helmet is just so cool. I love it to bits. The chest unit is really great. And how they sort of merge together with like the astronaut like suit is really cool. I think it's an astronaut suit. But yeah, it's such a great design. And also I have quite a bit of nostalgia because Earthshock and Attack of the Cybermen were some of the first Doctor Who stories I ever saw. So these were my first Cybermen and I loved them. Now, these two stories properly sort of reinvented these Cybermen, you know. In the classic series, just before this point, the Cybermen were starting to get a bit stale, but this sort of properly reinvented them, you know. If you look in certain scenes, the little clear bit on their chin, you can see the chin moving inside because of the actor, and it really emphasises that these are humans underneath, and it's great. I also think the Cybermen here were played by brilliant actors, you know. David Banks, who played the Cyber Leader throughout the 80s, is in my opinion probably the best individual Cyberman we've ever had. He's just got such a presence, and his voice, you know, is excellent. It's brilliant. But the 1980s properly revamped the Cybermen and made them seem scary again. You know, with Earthshock, their numbers, and they just felt so powerful and overwhelming. And then in Attack of the Cybermen, you properly saw like the conversion process for the first time, and they felt like sort of proper blockbuster movie villains, but still retaining that human element, and I just love them to bits. So that's the end of the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. What's your favourite Cyberman design? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And this is Clark the Geek, signing out.